Okay, let's try this again. So, everybody was shocked. I was shocked. I didn't really recover last night. I think I went to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. Eventually fell asleep 3 o'clock in the morning. Um, that was crazy. But I feel bad for Will Smith this morning. And here's why. And people aren't going to agree with me. I just realized my glasses are dirty. I don't know. They're constantly dirty. Anyways, so he, I'm about a few years younger than him or something like that. And he, so, and as a consumer of entertainment since the early 70s or whatever, I've, just like everybody else, have watched this guy's entire career. He was the nice guy. Um, he didn't do any kind of gangster type rap. He did like nice, wholesome rap that kids could listen to back when that wasn't the thing. Because the rest of rap had moved into more angry and violent territory. So, he got his show. He became hugely popular. Then he became a huge movie star. He's a talented actor. He absolutely deserved to win that Oscar. Not just this time, but other times. So the problem is, why do I feel bad for him? Because he went up and slapped somebody, and he shouldn't have done that, and he was absolutely wrong for doing that. But we all know, I mean, those of us who've been paying attention to these two know what's been going on. Like I said, when I was, I said it a minute ago, and I had to stop that stream. When Will Smith, my mom didn't understand why Will Smith married Jada Pinkett. She'd be like, why her? He was very famous, and he had kids already with another woman. I don't know if they got married, but he married Jada Pinkett. They've been married all these years. And it comes out a couple years ago. I think there were rumors and stuff, but it comes out a couple years ago that they have something of an open marriage. But also, Jada, with her show, would put all their business in the street. I got this on again. I don't need it. Put all their business in the street because she really needs attention. I watched the Matrix Resurrections premiere, and she wore this huge dress, and her trying to take a group picture with everybody. Same thing here this yesterday. Huge dress. You could say, oh, she wants a huge dress to keep COVID people away. Whatever. I don't know. But she needs attention. You diagnose that later on. So, she tells everybody how she got in this entanglement. And I take issue with people like this because it's like, okay, you're famous. You're doing this. And the way she did it with him sitting there, everybody watched this interview. And she did it to embarrass him. You know how they talk about cuckolds? She did that to him on the world stage. She embarrassed him hugely to maybe get back at him if he cheated with other people or whatever. I don't play these reindeer games. This is why, you know what I'm saying? Some of us aren't the kind of people that people like, and it's got more than to do with looks. But Will Smith could have married anybody, is my point, back in the day. And he ends up married to her for a really long time. Basically their whole lives. I mean, they're not dead yet. And let's hope nobody does anything, because this is a bad circumstance. But, because this morning I thought of a movie character. But, you publicly have your whole life with this person, you raise children with them, you do all this stuff. You're supposed to be this image of this great couple. You're supposed to be successful, and then your wife's like, oh, look at what I was up to. And this happens for both sexes. I remember thinking that time Sandra Bullock married that mechanic or garage attendant or whatever he was. Then he publicly cheats on her, right? To be like, not only did I marry Sandra Bullock, I'm so awesome, I cheated on her too. I think Halle Berry, I don't know if she had a husband. That guy, was she married to him? That Eric Benet did the same thing. So you have these really These are the most sought after people, the biggest catches, people anybody in the world would want to marry. They marry some idiot who embarrasses them, makes their life hell, and then you're like, would you marry them for in the first place? This is what my mother would have said if she saw this happen. Because a lot of us watch that, and you know, this is what we're not supposed to do, and this is why I say nobody's going to agree with me. A lot of us watch that and immediately say, this is Jada's fault. Because of what she did, because she publicly emasculated her husband, and being supposedly a great guy, he just tried to shine it on and be the good dude and do the right thing, and he should have dropped it right then and when she did that whole entanglement shit. He should have dropped it right then and there, and I don't understand why he didn't. The reason he didn't is probably why he married somebody like her in the first place, because honestly, he's like a foot taller than her at least, but you can tell in the dynamic she's the bully, you know what I mean? And society, especially in these last few years, has a really stupid time with, you know, sexist ideas that are actually backwards, because people have these sexist ideas are the ones who supposedly hate sexism. But men can get bullied, men can be abused and things like that. We have people like Johnny Depp, again, relative, I don't know if he's the same age, they're in the same generation anyway. Johnny Depp, you know, everybody loved Johnny Depp. When he got married a few times, I think. He got married really young. Then he had different girlfriends. He was with the model Kate Moss for a very long time. Then he married Vanessa Paradis, right? They were married? I think they were married. Or no, he wasn't. He wasn't married to her, I don't think. But then he married Amber Heard, who ends up abusing him, flipping the script, saying, oh no, he abused me. You know, like I said, people, bad guys, real bad guys, Machiavellian types, they blame you for what they're about to do to you. So they tell the whole world, you know, that you did something to them that they either just already did to you and nobody knows about it yet, or they're about to do it to you. So then you can't, they'll be like, oh, they're just saying that. Once you tell the truth, hey, they just did that to me. Now you're just saying, you're just trying to get away with something. You know what I mean? So people who know better, people who've been around the world, not around the world, but people who've been around in the world for a long time, know that people are like this. There are vipers and there are evil people. I know a lot of people have a strange thing for Angelina Jolie. In the end, you know, Brad Pitt, again, a guy anybody would have wanted to marry. This is what I'm saying. You go back to 1990 or something like that. Will Smith, Johnny Depp, Brad Pitt are the kind of guys anybody would have wanted to marry. The whole world loved them. I think most of the world still likes them. But they all end up marrying someone who you can decide if it's right or wrong, ends up dragging their name through the mud, making them look like evil people. They're abusive, they're this, they're that. Angelina Jolie, she still comes on TV. She doesn't directly speak well Brad Pitt, but it's like in a roundabout way, she's always like, oh, she's being so strong and this and that, fighting for women who are abused and all this crap. And it's kind of like, you know what I mean? So what I'm saying is you have these guys who could have had anybody. And then in the end, they, when they're, you know, should be sailing into retirement happily, they got to look back and be like, what the hell? What the hell did I marry? What the hell happened to me? Why, you know what I'm saying? Why did I choose this woman? And I would like to know the answer to that too. And I think it tends to be in this world that people don't marry appropriate people. People marry, like, bad guys marry good guys. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So somebody's going to be the good guy, somebody's going to be the bad guy. It's a lot of the time not what it looks like or not what you assume it's going to be on the surface, because nobody knows what goes on behind closed doors until people put it in the street. So the reason, like, so for all these guys, I feel bad because it's like they probably could have married a million women and a million women would have treated them better than they've been treated, or would have not even if they went through stuff, would not have made it a public show to embarrass or destroy a career or try to tarnish a reputation or just, you know what I mean, make somebody look like less of a man or any of that stuff. And it's gross. And I feel bad for Will because, like I said, I think a lot of people who are paying attention to entanglement stuff think he should have got rid of her before. Now, because he didn't, and he tried to keep being that great husband, but suddenly got this sun moved. It got to the point where he has now ruined what should have been the greatest moment of his life. His career's never going to be the same. He's not going to, and it's like, and for what? To defend her over a joke when everything she's done to him. You know what I mean? I just feel bad that he was trying so hard to be the good guy and, you know, stay married to her after all that stuff, that now this mess occurred. And the movie I thought of, spoilers if you've never seen Boogie Nights, and this is why I not only feel bad for Will Smith, I'm a little bit worried. And everything's not a movie character, and everything's not, I get that. But my brain just, this is the kind of math my brain does. And I'm not smart, but from having watched a lot of movies, that's why sometimes you see patterns in movies and stories in real life, and your brain puts two and two together. So, hopefully, nothing like this will ever happen. However, in Boogie Nights, it's about porn stars, right? And, everybody in the story is a porn star or the people who make the movies, right? So William H. Macy, I forgot exactly what, I think he might have been a cameraman, something like that, or some cinematographer. You know what I mean? So anyways, he was married to one of the porn stars, and it was like a running gag of the movie that she was always having sex with somebody. He would always just find his wife somewhere having sex with somebody. Until, now this is the spoiler part, and you really shouldn't hear this until unless you've seen the movie. At one point, I think it's New Year's Eve, he's going around looking for his wife, can't find her, you know, right as the, you know, year's turning, and of course she's having sex with somebody. He goes, gets a gun, shoots her and shoots himself. I think he shoots her. Okay, so what has happened yesterday it's the most amazing, not in a good way, amazing in, you know, fantastical moment of a public figure going through a very emotional thing on the world stage, that he couldn't control himself. He almost did look like a robot when he was walking. I watched it so many times. He almost did look like a robot when he was walking up to slap Chris Rock. And I know that somewhere in him, he thought that's what he needed to do, because 2 seconds before he was laughing. And his wife, she kind of rolled her eyes. Tamara turned away. I don't know if she said anything to him or if she just made a face, and him being the kind of person that knows what that's going to mean later on, that she made a face and she's going to be upset. Maybe she's going to say, why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you do anything? He felt like he needed to do a manly thing, or what would seem like a manly thing, and punch the guy. But this was the Oscars. This was your big night. This is the world stage. Yeah, maybe at a barbecue, maybe somewhere else. Not publicly assault a human being who made a joke, you know, in that forum. But he did, and that's how bad it was. And that's how not controlled he was, but you can't not see that he's been manipulated into, anybody who is in that sort of situation where they seem to have been cuckolded by somebody else has been worked over mentally for years, with people playing games, and power trips and stuff like that. That's what she was doing with that show. It was the worst time for that to happen. I don't blame Chris Rock at all. He was a comedian telling a joke. I didn't even understand why the joke was bad. Okay, she has alopecia, but you know what? Was it worth all that? And like I said on Twitter yesterday, again, about wives. Remember Alec Baldwin? You know how he's crazy? Remember that when he was on the side of the road doing some impromptu interview for people, and he kept saying stuff, and his wife Hilaria kept trying to get in between him, because she knew he shouldn't be doing this. She kept trying to get in between him, or she would walk up to him and then he'd like tell her to shut up or whatever. And she kept trying to stop him from harming himself and making more of a mess. So she would try to situate herself between him and the reporters and their cameras, or try to like signal, hey, stop. Last night, took Will Smith a long time to walk up there. I didn't hear Jada go, hey, stop. I don't know what she did once he mobilized, but I feel like she wanted that. You know what I mean? Some part of her, whether she knows it or not, she wanted that. Whether it's to, I don't know what's really going on in either one of them's heads, but again, I'm not married. If I was, I'm thinking in a hilarious sense, I would try, if I saw my husband, my friend, anybody who I cared about to ruin the biggest moment of their lives, I may just lurch in front of them and trip them to stop them from doing it. You know what I mean? Yes, this is me judging people. This is me talking about a situation, but it happened in the world stage. And I feel like he needs to be watched today. People need to take care of him today. Because, yeah, he just fucked up his whole life on behalf of his wife. Because why? Because this woman, I don't know why women do that. This is tale as old as time. These are the things, because women are not physically strong, right? They can't fight a man. They have historically done these other things to manipulate. It's the dark side of feminine wiles. It's the other thing. I don't do any of this stuff. It's the dark side of that, where you twist people, you turn people, so if somebody does a thing later on, they're totally at fault and you played no part, but really you did. You can slap somebody and you can harm somebody emotionally. And I didn't see anybody ever harm someone emotionally on a public stage the way she did to him with that entanglement stuff. So I think, like I said, most of us know that slap should have been for her. Not that anybody should slap their wives, but you know what I'm saying? That's who that slap was meant for. Mentally, emotionally. But it ended up going to Chris Rock. And I am sad for Will Smith. I wish he had gotten rid of her when she started that shit. Everybody knew that was rotten. Everybody knew that was lousy. You know, some people gossip about, they enjoy the gossip and stuff like that. So, or they'll figure, well, you know, they take that, well, I'm a woman, she's a woman, so I'm going to back her up, or I'm going to think she has the right to do that. People have all these reasons they do the things they do. But, yeah, this is what I'm saying. Nobody's going to agree with me, and that's fine. But I feel bad for Will Smith today. Chris Rock's going to be fine. Everybody else is going to be fine. Jada's going to be fine. I feel bad for Will Smith. Because like I said, I think this was years and years of what I'd call abuse. Because it's some kind of emotional abuse, at least. If you're like cheating all the time and then putting that on the public stage. You know, if somebody does that in their town, it's bad enough that the whole town knows, you know, that your marriage is kind of screwed up. But when you're that famous, it's pretty bad. And I feel bad for him, and I really hope nothing else bad happens. because this is a very crucial time.